The grand ballroom glittered under the crystal chandeliers, every surface gleaming with wealth. Music floated through the air, mingling with the laughter of the world's most beautiful women, models flown in from Paris, Milan, and New York. Every one of them was dressed in shimmering gowns, each hoping to catch the eye of one man. At the center of the room, Daniel Kingston, a billionaire known for his power and influence, sat beside his only son, Adrian. The elder Kingston's voice was deep and commanding when he leaned in and said, "Son, it's time you chose a mother for your future children. Tonight, I've gathered the most stunning women money can buy. Pick one." The models smiled and posed, their eyes glimmering with ambition. Adrian's heart, however, felt strangely hollow. He scanned the crowd, searching for something more than beauty. His father's words echoed in his mind, but instead of excitement, he felt the weight of expectation. Then, at the far edge of the ballroom, away from the lights and the champagne, Adrian saw her. She wasn't wearing silk or diamonds. She wore a plain uniform, her hair tied back neatly, her hands carrying a silver tray. Her name was Elena, one of the maids who worked quietly in the Kingston estate. She avoided the spotlight, moving with quiet grace and dignity. Adrian watched her pause to help an elderly guest who had dropped his cane. She knelt, offered a warm smile, and adjusted his grip with gentle care. No one else noticed. But Adrian did. When his father called the models forward, Adrian rose from his seat. All eyes followed him, expecting him to approach the line of women in gowns worth more than most people's homes. Instead, he walked past them all, straight to the maid in the corner. "Elena," he said softly, "would you dance with me?" Her eyes widened. "Sir, I'm working." "Please," he insisted, extending his hand. The room froze. Whispers spread like wildfire. Daniel Kingston's jaw tightened. His son was supposed to choose beauty, prestige, and status, not a maid. They danced, not in the center of the room but near the shadows, where the world felt smaller and safer. Adrian didn't care about the stairs, he cared about the way Elena laughed softly when he stepped on her foot, the way she looked into his eyes without fear or calculation. When the song ended, Daniel approached. His voice was cold. "What is the meaning of this?" "I've made my choice," Adrian said firmly. "I want her." "You would throw away everything for a maid?" Adrian's voice didn't waver. "I'm not throwing anything away. I'm choosing love over a transaction. You told me to choose a mother for my future children. I want someone who will teach them kindness, not vanity. She's the one." Daniel's face darkened. "If you do this, you will lose your inheritance." "Everything." Elena's breath caught. She stepped back. "Adrian, you can't." But he turned to her. "I can. Money can't buy a heart like yours." That night, they left the Kingston mansion together. Adrian traded luxury cars for second-hand rides, penthouses for a small apartment. They struggled, working double shifts, saving every penny, and sometimes wondering if they'd made a terrible mistake. But they also built something real, mornings filled with laughter, nights where they held each other close, and a love that no amount of wealth could replace. Years later, Daniel Kingston fell ill. Alone in his grand estate, surrounded by emptiness, he thought of the son he'd cast aside. When Adrian arrived with Elena and their 2 children, Daniel saw something in their eyes he had never known: genuine happiness. Elena, still gentle and humble, cared for the men who had once called her unworthy. She prepared his meals, helped him walk, and brought warmth into his cold home. On his final day, Daniel took Adrian's hand. "I was wrong," he whispered. "You chose better than I ever could." Adrian smiled faintly. "I didn't choose better, Father. I just chose love." When Daniel passed, he left nothing material behind for his son, but Adrian didn't need it. He had Elena, their children, and a life built on something far more valuable than gold, a love that endured every trial. Message: love is not about status, money, or appearances. True love is about choosing the person who sees your soul and stays, no matter what the world thinks.